we are joined by Vimal Kejriwal, who's the MD and CEO of KEC International, on a big order win that came in today. Hello, sir. Welcome to ET Now. Sir, can you elaborate on the order win firstly, and can you give us a breakup of the across the segments, and by when will this order start reflecting in your revenue?
So we have announced orders of roughly around 1,100 crores. Most of it are from our T&D business in the international market, Thailand, Saudi, etc., and also Brazil. And first order which we got in the logistics sector in our civil business. Civil, we have been expanding into various sectors. So this is our first large order in the logistics sector. As far as revenue is concerned, I think they'll start coming in from Q1 next year because we are already at March end. So next year onwards, next quarter onwards, the revenues will start flowing in.
About the overall order inflow, just get a sense that there has been a global sort of a turmoil. Are you seeing the sort of inquiries coming down, or does it take a lag effect before you see that on the macro level?
I think there will be a lag effect on the tender pipeline because we still have a large tender pipeline, and we also have got large tenders which we have already quoted. So I don't think there will be an impact in the immediate future on the tenders or on this. At this point of time, Pankaj, I would also like to say one thing is that we have a large order book and an L1 already. So even if there's an impact for a quarter or two, I don't think it would in a way impact us directly.
Okay, let's talk about the margin picture, with crude being so volatile, with various commodities being so volatile. First, tell us about the supply-demand situation. Is it manageable to get all the raw materials? Is everything fine on that side? And secondly, with this so much volatility, how are you managing margins and orders?
Supply chain volatility is concerned, I think raw material is okay with us because our raw material is largely steel, aluminium, copper, etc. So we are not facing let's say, a physical issue in getting raw materials, etc. I think the problem where we are running into on the supply chain side has been I'll say that the problems which Europe is facing, because we do source a lot of equipments for our substations from Europe, and there we are still seeing problems on the port, on the power cost, and labor availability, etc. So that has been some cause of concern. Logistics is slowly normalizing, but the costs have normalized. The availability is still a little bit of an issue, but since the costs have come down, there could be some delays, but it's okay. As far as volatility in the prices is concerned, we have generally been following a policy of hedging as soon as we get the orders. So that's what we have been doing. So I don't think we are too much worried right now about the volatility, because the other thing is that if you look at what has happened in the volatility, every week or every 10 days, the prices are now slowly going down. The trend is very clearly, downward, whether it is copper, whether it's aluminum. Steel has got its own issues, especially in India, where the prices have slightly gone up. But I don't think that is going to impact our margins now.
Right. Sir, can you also quantify on the margin profile that's expected from this new order?
So difficult to give a straight answer on each of them, but generally, if you look at the order book, most of our orders are always between 8 to 10% margins. So I don't see any major difference in this orders also.
So with this sort of a global turmoil, I know that you have very limited presence globally, but in places like Middle East, places like other places, you've been there around for a while. What generally tends to happen, when you see such sort of a global slowdown?
So first of all, we have a large presence. Almost 40% or 45% of our revenues come from outside India. We are present in almost 35 countries, and we have 3 manufacturing facilities outside India. Okay. What will happen here is that there won't be any immediate impact on the current projects, because that's the way these projects are conceived and financed. What can happen is let me put it this way. Last 2 years, we have been having a great run in the Middle East. Oil prices were $80, $85, $90, and etc. Now the prices have come down. Now, if that becomes a long-term trend, maybe the growth in Middle East may slow down a little bit. Okay. So we'll have to wait and watch how the trend impacts the countries individually. Africa has got financing from multilateral agencies. If there's a run on the banks, etc., will that financing get impacted? Maybe yes, maybe no. But other thing what has also changed is that suddenly the India market is looking up. Till a few months back, we were a little bit not that positive on the India market. But suddenly the India market is looking up very, in a very big manner, especially with the projected power shortages, etc., and also the emphasis on green hydrogen. We are suddenly seeing a lot of inquiries and orders, etc., on the transmission side in India. We have a large L1 in India on transmission also.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, sir. And we'll move on